Welcome to Volume 11 Rock Talk Podcast, brought to you by Volume 11 Music. Your hosts, Rich Hoffa, Rick Lawhorn, and Mark Dunn. Rock Talk, Volume 11 Music.
Hey, how's it going? You are here with us at Volume 11 Music in Fredericksburg, Virginia for Rock Talk.
Rock Talk.
All things rock and roll and music oriented and all that good stuff. If you're enjoying the videos, please like the video, share the video, and please subscribe. We've got a ton of people that are watching the channel and aren't subscribed yet. It really helps out the channel and helps out the algorithms and all that good stuff. So today's topic, we're going to talk about getting stranded on a desert island, but you got a record player. What is going to be the we'll say 5 records that you would want to have on this island. So I'll let you guys kick it off.
Go ahead, Rick. Okay. All 5 at once or just one, and then we
could do
the
that. Yeah, we could toss the hat around or whatever.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. This is a tough one because I love so much music. And we're staying in rock music because I think we all love all kinds of music. But with rock music, and we've talked about some of these albums before, but I'm going to go back to them. I'm going to go Back in Black, AC/DC, because as a kid, that was the one that just got me so going into music, which I've talked about before. But I love, and there's so many great AC/DC albums, but Back in Black, it's still fun. I got to throw Van Halen. I'm a huge Eddie fan. I know Mark is as well. Yeah. I'm going to pick a different one than probably Mark, and I'll explain my logic here. I'm going with Van Halen 2 because it is such a fun record. I mean, obviously Eddie's amazing on everything, but what a fun album. As a kid, I just thought, Dance the Night Away, Out of Love Again. It just makes me, not that the other albums aren't as fun, but Fair Warning's a little darker. Great album, of course, amazing, legendary guitar player. But I'm going to say Van Halen 2. So we got Back in Black, Van Halen 2. I'm going to say the Eagles' greatest hits. That's just feel-good music. You hear a song like Take It Easy, it just puts you in a great mood. So I got to put an Eagles album on there. That little old band from Texas, little Billy Gibbons, ha, 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 Tres Hombres. I mean, that kind of opened a door, because I heard them before I ever heard Stevie Ray Vaughan, so just Texas, down and dirty, bluesy, gravelly, low rock and roll blues from Texas. LaGrange, Beer Drinkers, I mean, so many great songs on that. Just swagger, just what a cool player, so, because with the Eagles, ZZ Top, we've got AC/DC, Van Halen, and boy, that 5th one, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say Allman Brothers, the live from the Fillmore from the Allman Brothers. That's another band that, as a kid, kind of really opened my eyes to, you've got blues, you've got rock, you've got this southerny vibe that's so cool about those bands that I just really dig. The long jamming guitar solos, Dwayne Allman, the slide playing, Dickie Betts. I love Greg Allman's voice, a singer. I really just dig the vibe to his singing. So for me, I'm going to say that's my 5 on the desert island.
Good choices. How about you, Mark?
I'll defer to you.
Yeah, you start thinking?
Oh, yeah. And we can ping pong some comments on these topics.
I'm going to, let's see. I think, starting out, it'd have to be AC/DC. But gosh, it's like, which one
Where do you
I
go?
want?
I was thinking.
It's like Back in Black, Highway to Hell, Power Age. I mean, which one do you go
Let
with?
There Be Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, any of the Bon Scott stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with If You Want Blood.
Oh, okay. Well, that gives you a little bit of everything.
Gives me a little mixture of everything.
Live
Great
cuts,
album, live album.
Bon Scott,
just really, really good. And then I would have to go with change it up a little bit and go with a, kind of like a greatest hits of Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Stevie Ray,
and some of the Texas blues and that kind of stuff. And then maybe a little dabble of, some 80s rock. I'd have to have probably Midnight Dynamite by Kix. I'd have to have that.
Fun album.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'd probably do an Aerosmith album.
Rocks.
Yeah,
Rocks
something like
fantastic.
that. Yeah, great album. And then who after that? Probably Boston. I mean, I just love listening to Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love it.
Timeless rock.
Yeah, exactly. So that'd probably be, give me a good mixture so I wouldn't go crazy.
Great, yeah.
Great music.
Great combination
different moods.
Can't go wrong with any of those, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, put you on the spot.
All right. 5.
So Fair Warning.
So yeah,
Van Halen, Fair
I got
Warning.
2.
Yeah.
You got Fair Warning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I was debating the second, the best of both worlds, greatest hits.
Okay.
But I think there's two. I mean, there's I love whenever I hear a song from Fair Warning, I listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
So there's that. The soundtrack to Purple Rain.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I have that one.
Yeah.
And probably Are You Experienced?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hendrix.
And God, the rest of them. I mean, Zeppelin 4 or Houses of the Holy. I have to flip a coin.
Yeah, I know.
And by the way, only one album per band.
Yeah,
so you don't pick one Zeppelin album.
So actually,
that's a good
I'll
one.
take Houses of the Holy because
That's a great album.
yeah. And then I had one more right on the tip of my tongue. Revolver.
Oh, okay.
Beatles.
Yeah,
That's
Beatles.
my favorite Beatles record.
Yeah,
Revolver.
fantastic album.
And that to me, that's the record where they really started to become more than like they kind of. Rubber Soul's great. Everybody talks about Rubber Soul being a transitional album, and no, it was Revolver.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, that's when George Martin really kind of became an integral fifth Beatle.
The fifth Beatle, yeah.
Yeah.
His knowledge of
Yeah.
what he'd brought to the table.
Yeah. So that and when you listen to that album, there's no. I've never listened to that whole album front to back where I haven't heard I'm getting goosebumps just telling you about it. Where I haven't heard something new that I hadn't really paid attention to before.
Yeah.
So if I was stuck on an island, I know I could occupy some time with that.
Now, did you love that album immediately when you first heard it, or was that one that just grew on you over time?
So I didn't know, like, all my brothers were always listening to stuff, and I didn't know what songs were on what albums, because I didn't even know the names of some of the songs. But Tomorrow Never Knows was the last song on Revolver. And that song mystified me.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Because it's just got a mantra, like, it's just the same thing going. And also Ringo's drum beat. And so when I found out it was on Revolver, I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So I got Revolver, and listening to that, the contributions are, I think, the most diverse amongst the guys. The songs are really all over the place.
They are. That's everywhere.
And that's when I
here, there, and everywhere.
And that's where, and that's when you can tell on that album that those guys really were writing music, and they weren't trying to conform to any particular form
thing. They were doing art, like art. It's almost like the first art rock album, I think.
That and a Pink Floyd. And I know I left Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah,
off.
Floyd.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that there was a lot of experimentation going on in the '60s, but if I can't. I mean, I've listened to that album so much, probably as much as Fair Warning.
Yeah.
So those two albums alone would probably suit me on the island, but the other three.
Yeah. Well, it's so hard to choose. I mean, because it's so many good albums out there by these bands, and it's like which one would you want to be there? But we could throw a whole curveball in it. Which album would make, if you got stuck with one album on the island, which one would make you jump off the island and try to swim somewhere else?
Generation Swine by Motley Crue.
Yeah,
I'm going there.
Well,
I remember hearing that for the first time. Going, what are these guys doing?
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. I mean, I love a lot of their early albums, but Generation Swine would be one that would make me consider doing that.
I tell you what, I think for me, and everybody knows that I pick on Europe, and it wouldn't be Europe. Final Countdown. It would be. I mean, that one would get me going, but I know the band's good and stuff like that. But,
definitely.
But I'm gonna jump on, and I love Motley Crue. I really do. I'm a big fan. But I tell you what. Tommy Lee's solo album,
solo record,
true story. I bought it, because I'm a Motley Crue fan. It's called Tommyland, and I put it into my CD player in my Jeep, and I track 1, and I go, okay. I track 2, okay. Track 3, and by the time I was done, I went through all these tracks in less than 2 minutes, and I rolled down the window and went, whoop. right out the window.
It was like a Beavis and Butthead. Like,
I'm not
what
kidding you.
is
I
this
threw
crap?
it out the window going down the highway. I was like, I will never listen to this thing. It's not even staying in my collection. Whoop.
Well, wasn't
Right
that when he
out
was doing like rap, trying to do like Limp Bizkit
Yes,
kind of
yes.
stuff? I think,
You
and
know,
rap
and I like some of the rap
it's okay.
metal.
Yeah. I mean,
I love Rage Against the Machine
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
And
that
an
one-
update to our schedule, Tommy Lee will not be doing an in-store autograph.
So I guess he won't be on a
sure
future
won't.
episode of Rock Talk.
Hey.
Sorry.
Like I said, I
It's
figured
what it is.
I figured I'd pick on somebody else. So how about you, Mark?
Yeah,
What's
but
going to
album.
feed yourself to the Sharks if you
Yeah,
get
the
stuck
feed
on?
yourself to the Sharks album.
I want to expand on the Purple Rain thing. I should have said this because you can listen to the soundtrack and you can visualize the movie. So it's like I get a twofer with that.
Yeah.
On a desert island.
All right,
Okay.
As far as making me want to go,
Bonkers in the wrong direction.
this is going to piss a lot of people off.
Uh-oh. Drum roll here.
But I'm coming from a place of there's two sides to this. Don't let me get too worried with it. This album sounds awful. It is not recorded worth a damn, and it when you put it up to other albums in the time frame, which is going to be the early '80s,
Yeah.
This thing sounds like a garage demo because it is.
Right.
And that's going to be Kill 'Em All.
I thought you were going
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and here's the other side of that. Like, I like to teach songs off of that because there are some wonderful riffs.
Yeah.
But they're playing as a band was like they just went in there and did it. They didn't have any refining. That album sounds like a car going down the road that doesn't have any alignment, and you can hear the lifters hitting metal, and it's just like
So it's not the songs; it's the recording.
the songs aren't bad. The
production,
production's terrible. They didn't, they weren't super tight. I mean, stops and things were tight, but you can hear that it's kind of mayhem going on. At the same time, I understand that fed their sound. But if anybody takes issue with what I'm saying about the sound of that album, all you got to do is go listen to the next one, which is Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning came out next.
And the difference between those two albums is not just night and day; it's different solar systems.
It is.
Yeah.
So you would hear what I'm talking.
But they had money to work with on that on the Ride the Lightning.
Because they went out there and worked their butt off on the first one.
Oh, absolutely.
But
And
that
the production,
album, that album just sounds like. I think I'd rather brush my teeth with a Brillo pad. It's just, oh God.
Was there another album you could say that's equal to that in the production you don't like? That's a famous album that everybody kind of knows and loves. I mean, like an album that's very popular, but the production's a little like wonky. Let's say like Kill 'Em All, as you pointed out from Metallica.
Oh,
and of course they stepped it up.
The first Rat album.
Okay.
About
the album or the EP?
The EP's terrible, but nobody's even heard that.
I have.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a Rat fan.
Yeah, me too. That's when they did Walk in the Dog.
Yeah, Walk in the Dog. Yeah, right.
And that sounds,
But the production's a bit hokey pokey.
Yeah, and it got better for the first record.
Yeah.
But that compared to Invasion of Your Privacy.
Right. They really.
And then what was it? Dancing Under Dance.
Well, Dancing Under Cover was the album. It had Dance was the single on that.
So.
Yeah.
Those like the.
But the production stepped up. I think,
man, Invasion of Your Privacy after Out of the Cellar was the first one.
Yeah,
and it just to me with the production on albums, it all still starts and ends with the drums. And whenever you've got drums that either sound like cardboard boxes, like Kill 'Em All, or this big giant wash of tubbery like the Cellar.
Right. The Tupperware was brought out of the cabinet for that one.
So that's the guitar tones arguably on Kill 'Em All and Out of the Cellar are great.
Yeah.
For that thing.
Yeah.
But just the overall was just. But I mean, there's a bunch of them. I think. Like
but then Metallica kind of went with that whole Saint Anger thing, and that had a really bizarre drum. It was like on coffee cans, like a Folgers cup or something.
Yeah. I mean, power to them for more power to them for experimenting with drums.
Yeah, they were experimenting with the tones.
Yeah. But I mean,
and to be honest with you, they developed that heavy hard metal sound
metallic
for drums.
Sound,
because they get that that flat sound.
Right.
Out of them.
I'd rather be shot in the face than listen to 311 snare. No offense, but I mean that thing hurts right here.
Yeah,
I don't hear it. I feel it in my cheekbone.
Yeah,
like a bad sinus infection.
It's a 4-inch piccolo.
Yeah,
it's like awful. But things like that, people don't. That's why I tell my students we are stricken. We cannot listen to music
without decoding
very rarely,
it.
or without finding something that makes us angry about it. Like, like Rich just threw the CD out because it sucked. I mean, some things like I just can't listen to. Like, it really bothers me that much.
Yeah, well, it does. That's the thing is, and I get that too with some of the songs that and of course, a lot of times I'm working on a guitar and I'm wiring something, and then Rick comes out and he goes, "Hey, Rich, your favorite song's on," and then all of a sudden I feel like this shooting pain up the back of my neck because I wasn't even paying attention to the song until he brings it up.
And then it's in your head all day.
And then I'm like, no, I got to think about that.
Yeah, right. Now you mentioned the ones you did like, Kicks, of course, great band in this region. We all grew up with Kicks here in the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
You could have got a lot of directions on their discography is so good.
Yeah,
as far as in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just I'm a huge Kicks fan.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like all their albums, and to be honest with you, like I think that most of them, like almost every song on the I just play up the entire
catchy and fun.
The entire song. I mean, because it's just fun. It's just they're just
they're
a
rock
fun
and roll band.
Rock and roll band,
yeah.
and. I mean, and plus, you always think about too is like I've seen them so many times, and you go there and it's because it's they're a local band. It's everybody there. You run into so many people that so it's like a homecoming every time you go see these guys play.
Social event.
Yeah, it was.
Did you ever see them, Mark?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not.
I know you were down more towards Virginia Beach.
Yeah, but they came through all the time.
Up here
and I used to run into them out on the road.
Okay.
In different spots. So I can't remember seeing them, but I feel like I have.
Yeah.
But something's telling me it might have been even a sound check or something, where we were in Myrtle Beach at the same time or something like that.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Or I've just seen them on MTV so many times when I was a kid. It was like, yeah, I've seen them.
But a fun band. You're not going to have a bad time at one of their shows.
I mean,
you're going to be leaving with a smile.
Like I said, you're leaving. It's it's like going to every show was like New Year's Eve. Just the best New Year's Eve party you've ever been to. I mean, with the balloons and the confetti and just a fun song and and then Steve Whiteman. I mean, just a great frontman. Good singer, but also he just knows how to work the crowd.
Yeah, no, he was excellent.
Funny. I mean, just hilarious stuff.
Played off the crowd really good.
Yeah,
too,
you just crack up.
Witty,
the whole time you were there. Because he just crack you up at the things that guy would say. Just hilarious.
Yeah.
And and he picks on people too. It's just funny, but it's all good fun. I remember one time they were doing Cold Blood, and he had this guy. He points the microphone out, and he's like, he goes, hey, he points it out so you can sing, and he's like, and so this guy gets something, he goes, Cold Blood, and then Steve's like, don't quit your day job. You've got no future as a singer.
Oh man, that's Cold Blood right there.
That's Cold Blood. Yeah,
started busting out laughing. It was hilarious, but just great times. Great times going to see that band for sure.
Yeah.
God, that's a good question that you asked on top of what would drive you off of
Might actually be Mark a good 5 on that answer that question.
And that was part of that was definitely ad-lib. These guys had no clue that I was going to come up with that. So I caught everybody totally off guard. I hope you enjoyed it. That's going to wrap up this episode.
We better not go further to make a bunch of enemies.
I know. All in good fun, and you know what they say about opinions. But
Where are you playing this weekend?
Yeah.
This coming week, we are doing the Silver Bullet Hunt Club with Cactus Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, fun.
Which
We've done a lot of events.
Oh, is that a private deal?
It's a private deal. It's on a Saturday, and we are way down in Caroline County.
Yeah.
Backwoods of Caroline County.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
A lot of Skinner, a lot of Southern rock, a lot of country rock. So
yeah.
It'll be a fun night.
I'll be in the Northern Neck Saturday in Montrose at the Northern Neck
Oh,
Brewery.
yeah, that's a fun venue.
Solo?
Yeah. I don't think we're going to bring the band in there.
Yeah. That'd be a little loud.
Well, I know Tyler Nichols band.
I played with him.
In there. But did y'all know that the house across the way from that, it's on the turn there in Montrose, and the house next, it's like not a house, but it's an out parcel. That's where Mayor Barry used to hang out.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh,
That was his.
Marion Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
evidently was his.
He just hung out, didn't do anything else. There's more to the story.
That was his hang of repute.
Oh, gotcha.
When he wanted to get out of town and get on down, that's where he went. Somebody told him.
Montrose.
Yeah, in Montrose.
Like Johnny Carsey's. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is
I'm
wild.
Full
Ed.
of
That's
useless Northern
wild
Neck information.
stuff. I did not know that.
So Northern Neck, 5:30
Wow.
start on Saturday, and
Yeah.
I think the tours are still going on for free for the Ghost of Marion Barry if you want to go.
Wow.
There you go.
all right.
That's it. I won't be
funny.
doing any of that. I'm going to be working here at the store,
Working on guitars.
trying to sell some stuff,
Installing
working on
pickups,
guitars. I've got pickups to install. I've got setups to do, and digital marketing, so I can
That's
make
right.
these videos.
Getting
and all
very,
that stuff.
very
So,
high tech.
Exactly.
Bring Rich
exactly.
more electronics works on guitar.
He loves the
doing- he loves
Yeah.
put new pickups in.
I love
everything.
it. I love
Loves
it. It's my favorite thing.
And bring him that Tommy Lee CD so he can.
yeah, exactly. It's probably there probably is none around, so I don't have to worry about that too much. But if you're enjoying the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share with your friends. And we'll see you next week on Rock Talk. Peace.
This has been an episode of Volume 11 Rock Talk Podcast, brought to you by Volume 11 Music.